Oscar Valdez versus Shakur Stevenson. Whew. Alright, it's time to analyze it. So, it's your boy, Prince the Hustle God. This is the combat tool bag. We just reaching in again. Code Black Affair. So, Oscar De La Hoya, psych, Oscar Valdez, is looking a little shaky. He's not looking like his normal confident self. He's definitely trying to put on the good guy act as he normally does. But we know Oscar Valdez to be a more determined fighter at the very least, and confident, a lot more confident than he's displaying. And granted, deception is a part of combat, so it does make you wonder, like, is he trying to trick Shakur out, make him think he's a little more scared than he is? But I've never really seen that work besides in like one MMA combat clip where a guy pretended to be hurt to draw, literally in that moment, draw an opponent in, and caught the guy with overhand right. Very unlikely. Why? Because we have Shakur Stevenson as an Olympian who was a lot more successful as an Olympian than Oscar Valdez, so the IQ, there's a difference there. Also, I would say the Mexican fan base isn't as vocal or as aggressive as they typically are in the chat rooms and any way of communicating excitement about the fight. Typically, we see Canelo fans everywhere. We see, in the past at least, people galvanizing behind Mikey Garcia or other Hispanic fighters. Their fan base would kind of be, would proudly champion their champion, no pun intended. But right now, it's like his fan base himself, as well as Canelo Alvarez, even in his recent statements, seem to all express doubt. So it's not really looking good. I see it as being somewhat of a resemblance of the Jamel Herring versus Shakur Stevenson fight, with the exception of Shakur getting caught maybe one or two times and him not necessarily testing his chin, but him showing us that he has a solid chin. But you know, anything can happen in boxing. Very rarely does the puncher's chance end up happening or end up being successful as far as like KOing somebody. But who's to say Valdez can't do it? He's knocked people out with both hands, and also all punches. So, well, all punches with the exception of a jab. So that's the cross, the overhand, the hooks, the uppercuts. But Shakur Stevenson, I've always been a big fan of Shakur Stevenson. I think he was always my top prospect when he was a prospect, and now he's a young champion, and he's always kind of had people moving out of the way, almost like parting the Red Seas in a way, like just clearing his path. So I say, yeah, very like close resemblance to the Jamel Herring fight. Shakur Stevenson destroyed him in a landslide. If it's a stoppage, it would be a TKO ref stoppage because Shakur would have found his rhythm and put on relentless combinations. That I feel like is maybe a higher chance than Valdez catching him and clipping him, but I see it going to the scorecards and it being a landslide. Maybe one judge will see it like Adelaide Birdwood or whatever that lady's name is. But yeah, so Shakur Stevenson destroys Oscar Valdez. Faces a little bit of adversity, but landslide. You heard it here first. So I was just reaching into your boxing tool bag. The Prince the Hustle Guy. Until next time, deuces.